following broadcast is a copyrighted presentation of the DHN Media Group. Any non-personal retransmission of this broadcast without the express written consent of the DHN Media Group is hereby prohibited. The Delaware Blue Hens Division I men's hockey team commences their regular season right now as they host Penn State Berks, and it's right here on Delaware Hockey Night. It's a hockey night in Newark. The American Collegiate Hockey Association presents the regular season opener of the Delaware Blue Hens as they host the Penn State University Berks Lions. Come into this game with an 8-0 win, already accounted for, led by 2 goals from Eric Del Ellis. He will center the top line for the visiting Lions here this evening. But the University of Delaware Blue Hens handy winners over the Lions in 2 meetings in Reading, Pennsylvania just last season. The boys in blue will try to get things going on a winning note here after dropping their lone preseason contest that to the Philadelphia Junior Flyers last week by a tally of 2-1. James Witherite joining you from Fred Rust Arena, and as always, I am joined here in the broadcast box, high atop the stands of Fred Rust Arena, by one of my favorite people, color commentator and coach extraordinaire, Bob Thomas. Bob, we saw this Delaware team in action last week. Certainly some strong points, but still a few things that they need to work on getting together, namely defending against the breakout, better support forechecking, and generating better scoring chances. What do you think this season tonight, considering that this team beat Penn State Berks in both their meetings last year?
James, I'll tell you, Delaware looked like 2 different teams in the first and second period. The first period, they kind of took a passive forecheck. The second period, they took an aggressive forecheck. Things, even though they got outscored 1-0 in that period, they had so many more chances. They looked really good. So I anticipate that Delaware will come out, especially with this will be their first regular season game, and they'll do the job on that forecheck much harder.
And they'll be backstopped tonight by senior netminder Chris Ponticello, 5'11", 170. Of course, this is the first we'll see of anybody here in the regular season. He's a name to watch, as to our co-captains Mike Niski and Chris Mazzella. They'll be on the top line alongside Dom Guido. Couple Delaware boys on the team. Colin Emmerich will be lining up the left wing in the second line, along with Kevin Felice and Brian Ostrander. Ivan Sidoriak, no stranger to the area, played for the Valley Forge Minutemen of the AYHL in his youth hockey career. And there he was coached by none other than the director of hockey at the Patriot Ice Center across town, Sean Cannon. And what about a great hockey-minded Sean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, as I was pointing out before the game, it's amazing on our sheet here, James, that every player from Penn State, 6 foot, 180 pounds, right on the button. I loved it.
But it's the Penn State Berks Rockettes there, I guess, if they're all even in height.
It's amazing how they found every kid to be the same size. You know, this would be fun tonight because we'll never be able to tell except for the numbers, but they'll all look the same.
Or at least so it says on the sheet. I don't think that's the case. I've skated with a couple of these guys during drop-in sessions and whatnot.
The first young man I saw in the warm-ups was definitely bigger than 180.
And there are definitely a few shorter than 6 feet, ourselves included, up here in the broadcast box.
Absolutely. And as I get older, I get shorter. So.
I hear that's what happens.
It does.
But we digress. Welcome to all of you if you're joining us on DHN TV, streaming live via YouTube, or on DHN Radio, streaming live at DEHockeyNight.com. Full broadcast schedule if you're taking us in via radio on the right side of the webpage. And of of course, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at DE Hockey Night. A reminder, we're back in action tomorrow, a Saturday matinee. How about that? We'll get things opened up here on DHN at high noon for the rematch between Delaware and Penn State Berks, but we've got a lot of hockey to get through before we can even think about tomorrow afternoon. It's the regular season home opener, Delaware and Penn State Berks. And you'll have it here on Delaware Hockey Night TV and Delaware Hockey Night Radio, presented by the DHN Media Group.
AJ,
And a most pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Welcome to Delaware Hockey Night TV and Delaware Hockey Night Radio as the American Collegiate Hockey Association presents tonight's Men's Division I matchup between the Penn State Berks Lions and University of Delaware Blue Hens, their regular season opener after dropping a 2-1 decision to the Philadelphia Junior Flyers in last week's, I should say, preseason matchup. James Witherite and Bob Thomas joining you for the duration of the 2019-20 season as the officials take the ice for this opening game of the season. Referees are Doug Wood and Sean Milligan, the linesman Mike Campbell, and an avid fisherman in Matt Druckenmiller. So they'll handle the officiating duties. And speaking of an avid fisherman, hi Bob.
Hey James.
Always great to share the airwaves with you as we prepare for the first step in a long, long journey together this season. We worked a few games together toward the end of last year, and it was just an absolute treat to get to pick your brain when it came to hockey. And well, the friendship off the ice, I think, translates pretty well on the ice too. And
definitely,
we hope you're having as much fun listening in as we are bringing you these games.
It's going to be a great start to the year.
Absolutely. It's worth noting, too, that Delaware did sweep Penn State Berks on the road last season, won both matchups at the Body Zone Center in Reading, PA. Toward the beginning of last season, then ran into a little bit of trouble mid-season, but once Todd Middlemeyer took over the reins coaching, they had a little bit of a spike and then leveled off a bit for what was pretty much a 500 season. It's a clean slate here in 2019-2020, and without further ado, let's listen in. Bill Williams will have our opening introductions here this evening. We'll let Bill cut in now.
The entire roster for your 2019-2020 University of Delaware Division I players. First, the forwards. Number 8, junior, Cam Pikowski. Number 9, senior, Greg Dan Doley. Number 13, senior, Chris Mazzella. Number 16, senior, Kevin Felice. Number 21, senior, Michael Rankin. Number 22, senior, Michael Misty. Number 23, senior, Devin Jenny. Number 25, sophomore, Jake Niemeyer.
Oh, say can you see my watery eyes, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran round the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Great job, James. We either James tonight and all women on things as they air the final mission at DelawareHockeyNet.com.
And without further ado, it's ready to go here at the Arena. Delaware traveling left to right. Here in period number 1 in their home blue kits. Gold goes head-to-head along the front. Stylized University of Delaware font numbers on the sleeves and back. Penn State Berks, the Lions, traveling from right to left here in period number 1 in their away white kits. Navy blue numbers on the front, back, and sleeves all around. Let's go. Eric Delaware to take the initial draw. And it's won by Penn State. Berks at the left to make Penn State 6-7. Puck on the near corner. It's back to Delaware. Quick shot, just 6 seconds into the game. It sails on through the crease. Far corner where it's corralled by Kevin Phillies. Carry it up the left wing boards. He throws the check at center red, loses the puck. It's batted down over the logo by Ken Keene, and he backhands it out of harm's way. Deep into Delaware territory, and this will be ruled an icing.
Quick start by the Lions, that's for sure. They got down and pressed a pretty heavy forecheck and got a really good scoring chance, as you said, Dave, just 6 seconds into the game. So, face off down at the Lions end of the ice.
One by Penn State. Berks, namely Alex Marone, chipping it away. Stephen Schwartz corrals it. Protecting the left point for Delaware, Don Guido working the left wing. Gets behind Mike Niski. Niski double team. Backdoor pass to Zella. Waiting on the doorstep, couldn't connect. And neither from center point could Ivan Sidoriak. And this puck again is cleared.
Good pace of the game so far, James. You know, especially this early in the season, both teams are moving the puck down the ice pretty good. I haven't seen a huge forecheck yet from either team. It's kind of like a sparring match. Kind of like, you know, any of these teams early in the season, it's sort of you feel everything out, you get used to your new line mates. You know, both kind of, sort of like they, no hesitations here, no hesitations there, but sure that'll wimble as the Berks come out after these first couple shifts.
Sidoriak laying a body onto the far corner, and Delaware is one of his long heads trying to keep the momentum going. And now Delaware, after a little bit of a nervous moment there, is able to break on through Niski. Lost control of the puck at the near half wall. Zella offering support. Couldn't keep the momentum going. Mitchell Katz was able to get stick on puck, but he couldn't clear the zone. DeFerris protected, so too after the fact was Don Guido crossing over the right side. Cross ice pass to Harrison Chuba, thrown in from right in front of the Penn State Berks bench, but his shot was there and a good bit to the right. Niski couldn't do anything with it in the near corner, and Stephen Schwartz is able to loft it out of harm's way. Puck batted down at center red by Harrison Chuba. Back he goes into his zone to get the momentum going. Gavin Hulse we've got an offside. The 2:18 mark of this first period. Face-off will come just above the Penn State Berks blue line. Nina takes the draw. Was Docking. Dumps it in deep behind the Penn State goal. It's played out up the right side by Ryan Spanier, former Delaware Duck. How about that? Strong youth AA program. Based across town at the Patriot Ice Center. Icing waved off. That puck's in for Delaware blue line, chased down by Hulser. Up to the left point, thrown by Jack Zimmer through the blue paint and Spears. And it turns out to the near side, where it's kept in by Harrison Truma. Worked ahead to Redgate, the near half wall, and he plays the carry on to the far side. Zach Talbot, met by a shoulder check from Ethan Docking. They converge on the puck. It sails up in the atmosphere, and Jake Miller tries to clear it around with his backhand. Truma converges with Ryan Spanier just above the near corner, and now a loose puck is batted out of harm's way by David Tristan to the third line. Proving to be evenly matched here at the Fred Rust Arena. Neither side able to get puck in net in the first 3.5 minutes of this game, but Delaware so far maintaining the tone and maintaining territory pretty well. Way through. The first we're seeing of the fourth line, Jake Lima and Greg Gandoli. Pitchfork away at the far half wall. Gandoli with it on his stick now. Poke checked out of his control by Del Ellis, but he's unable to clear. Zone kept airtight. Now at the left point by Mike Patterson, working together with Tommy Cascone. In the right corner, here's Devin Jenny trying to jam one in. That puck is covered up right on the welcome mat by Trent Bogert, and we've got ourselves a stoppage at the 3:58 mark. Really the first good scoring chance we saw of the game, Bob.
Yeah, but you know,
Trent Bogert reacted perfectly and was able to trap that puck.
Delaware looked so much stronger on the forecheck than last week's game. They looked like the second period of that last week's game, and they did a great job. They did some opportunities, just missing here and there, but that last game was great.
And they maintain offensive zone position off that draw on the other side. There's Denny in the near corner. Cycles to Nina, back to the right point, and Capstone. He fires it across ice off the far boards. Patterson ducks to try to avoid a check. He's able to work the puck in behind the cage again. Here's Jake Nima setting up a one-timer from Tommy Cascone at the top of the right circle. And he couldn't split the wicket. Jenny with the backhand. But he scores! Devin Jenny puts the heads up 1-0. At the 4.5-minute mark, got his own rebound and punched in the backhander to give Delaware the lead.
James, you know, he had that great scoring chance about 30 seconds ago, and he didn't score this time. It wasn't denied. What I really like is that Delaware looks confident in their offensive zone. You know, the defensemen are pinching in when they know they can. They're doing a great job of beating the points. They're getting a lot of great movement in the puck. And again, it all comes down to that hard forecheck.
Those first 4.5 minutes felt completely different than what we saw at the beginning of the season. Well, that preseason game, I should say. Control of territory and just grind, and the chances came. Devin Jenny gets his first this season. How fitting is that for a team of muckers and grinders that the first goal of the year goes to the fourth line?
It's a good point, James, and what I, you know, it's always easier to get in a game with having that first big hit, or when you try to squeeze it out,
Mike Patterson and Brian Ostrander getting credit for the assists on the Devin Jenny goal, although I think that second assist probably should go to Jake Nima, number 25, not number 26. So that's how we'll credit it here. We'll check with the tape tomorrow morning just to confirm on that. Meanwhile, Delaware with another attacking zone face-off. The puck mishandled by Chris Mazzella, nearly taken out of the zone. Puts it back in, right to Mazzella, give and go, and it's 2-0.
But you know what, if you notice, the second line came out after the fourth line, and they spotted something that they liked. They wanted a different matchup. So Delaware let those guys play out. They got a good face-off draw. And the first line went out. They didn't match up that they wanted. So the coaches definitely saw what they wanted to do, and they did it. And it didn't take long for them to score.
Dropped the mismatch there to go up 2-0. And we're just 5.5 minutes in.
Absolutely. You know, it's those are the kind of little things that people don't notice a lot of times in games that make a big, big difference in the outcome of the game. You know, a lot of times, most of the time, it's the players that are there to make the game, that make the difference. But there's an occasion once in a while where a coach feels something.
University of Delaware, number 13, Chris Mazzella. The assistant from team, David Berks, and number 22, Michael Whiskey. Time goal, 5 minutes, 27 seconds. That's number 13, Chris Mazzella goal. Jake DeForest, away next to the assist at 5.
So as Bill Williams relates to us the assists, going to Jake DeForest, the defenseman, and Mike Whiskey, the co-captains, Whiskey and Mazzella, both already on the board with a point tonight, and Delaware up 2-0. We passed the 6-minute mark of the first period, and the Hens find themselves in some unfamiliar territory, that being their own zone. Whiskey was able to clear it out, and quick to return the favor, John Granahan from just above the Delaware blue line, minus about 15 feet, dumped it back in. Here come the Hens, right back on the attack. This is Don Guido working the right side now. He circles behind the cage, got tripped up by Jacob Bowles in the far corner. Guido keeps it in at the left half wall, throws it across ice, but it sails about 10 feet high of the cage. Worked back in front, Guido couldn't connect on the doorstep, got the puck by Whiskey. Scrum developing right in front of the cage. And it's covered up by Trent Bogert, bringing us a stoppage. 13:15 to go here in the first period. Delaware up 2-0.
You know, James, it's Delaware looks like they just have a little bit more speed there. They're definitely a step quicker. One thing that I noticed is they're getting to the net and they're getting the opportunities, and it's just because they're just quicker on the puck.
One-timer from the left point right off the attacking zone draw. Mike Patterson with a skipper that sailed just wide of the cage. Cascone keeps it in at the right side. Advanced up the near boards to Hulser in behind the cage on past Ethan Docking. And this is cleared out by the Lions. Jacob Bowles was brought in as far as the blue line, plus about 5 feet before his advance was countered. And here's that strong Delaware forecheck you talked about earlier, Bob. Docking worked it around to Gavin Hulser at the left corner, back up to the point it goes, and Mike Patterson with a laser from 60 feet fires it right into the breadbasket of Trent Bogert. Great job by this netminder blocking down the angles, save for those couple odd man rushes. Bogert blocking down the angles and minimizing rebound chances too.
With Penn State right now, you know, they're having trouble getting out of the zone. All but the first one. All Delaware now.
Momentum clearly going left to right. This ice, as we would say, is tilted from left to right, as it was at Old Boston Garden. Delaware after that first rush. Early smoke from Del Ellis on a breakaway, but he's denied on the welcome that by Monticello. Great chance for Eric Del Ellis, who had 2 goals in Penn State Berks' 8-0 win in their season opener. Hulser can't dipsy-doodle through traffic. He got tied up mid-slot by Alex Barone. The Hens re-enter. There's Hulser again with a one-timer from right between the circles. He couldn't connect from 25 feet away. In comes Sidoriak up the right wing board. Stick save on him from the half ball by Bogert. And that puck is directed out on the way out of his own icing wave. Harris hustles back behind his own goal line. Flip it across to his deep partner, Sidoriak, and his outlet pass is able to escape the zone, but it sails right past Jake Lima, and it's turned back the Delaware away by Dom Pantalo before that move is countered, and the Hens are able to regain offensive position. We're 8.5 minutes in, Delaware 2, Penn State Berks 0. Still some early season jitters here at Fred Russ Arena, as the game day audio is being on the fritz once again. We don't know if it's people not staying in their lane or what the cause is, but hopefully during intermission, for the benefit of the people on hand, that'll get sorted out. Here comes Ryan Stander, backhander through the slot off the far of boards after he was angled out of his shot lane. Pile up in the corner, brought through by Nina. He tips the puck out of the Delaware zone ahead to Tandoli, who's a one-on-one, but Zach Talbot caught up with him to give Penn State Berks the manpower advantage in that attack. Puck comes back out into neutral territory. Jack Zimmer winds up to dump it in. The play was offside. So possession is ceded to the boys in white. Again, Zimmer lofts it in from over the blue line. Rings off the glass, drops in behind the Penn State Berks goal. And John Granahan's efforts to clear were foiled by forechecking pressure from Kevin Felice. Felice outside the right circle, looking for space marked by Keene. Puts it off to Colin Emmerich, the Delawarean. Emmerich wrapping through traffic, lost control of the puck, and Whiston kicks it out of harm's way. He's unable to connect with Keene up the left side. And Delaware is able to regain control of the puck as we pass the halfway point of the first period. Back they come deep into their end after being guilty of an icing.
Delaware's only had one real breakdown today, and that was the breakaway.
That was the Del Ellis breakaway that Monticello came up big. Not exactly a 10-bell save, a little bit more workmanlike than that, but didn't need to do much more than that.
No, I think Mr. Del Ellis was like the end of the show too. So I hope he gets quite a good legs and get up there and do the Gypsy Beaver stuff.
Absolutely. 3-on-1 for Delaware. And Brad Ostrander lights the win. Tic-tac-toe up through the zone. Ostrander with loads of space was able to go top shelf, and it is 3-0 Delaware. Just a tour de force here in the first period.
Where did the defense go in that play? It eventually became a 2-on-0.
3-on-1 became a 2-on-0. Ostrander mid-slot. Off the feed from the left. Makes this a 3-0 game. Up the middle came Miskey, but he was countered at the Delaware at the Penn State blue line by Schwartz. Schwartz in the near half wall couldn't keep his momentum going. This puck is cleared out by Casco. Icing waved off by linesman Mike Campbell. Miskey's able to chase it down. Back it comes Mazzella between the circles. One-timer fanned on. This puck nearly cleared out by Schwartz off the glass, but it's gloved down at the left point by Michael Patterson. Miskey through traffic. Centering pass sailed right past Guido. He was right on the doorstep, 8 feet away from the cage, but he mistimed the receipt of that puck. Let Bill cut in.
The assist to number 16, Kevin Felice, and number 6, Harrison Chuma. Time of the goal, 10 minutes, 21 seconds. That's 26 goals, 16 assists, 20 assists.
Against Penn State Berks, they've had more than their fair share of those here in the first 11 minutes and 35 seconds. And this comes back into Lions territory. Another attacking zone face-off for the Blue Hens. We've seen the first line, we've seen the second line, we've seen the fourth line, the third line out right now of Docking, Redgate, and Holster. We'll see if they can keep the magic going. Sidoriak wound up from the top of the right circle. Stick save by Trent Bogert directed the puck into protected netting and out was play.
James, you're starting to get the feeling of Mr. Bogert tired of man in this game.
He's been absolutely peppered with vulcanized rubber here in the first just under 12 minutes of it, but
That feeling is going to see a lot more before the end of it.
you know what, he's done all right. It's really been the blue line for Penn State Berks that's broken down and led the Delaware's early success as they keep grinding away, Docking in the near corner. Bats it loose to Holster. Holster ricochets it off the near boards to the Ferris at the point. Back it comes to Holster, taken away from him. Stander checks him off the biscuit. Docking working through the slot to Ferris. Gets the centering pass and makes it 4-0.
James, you know what the difference in this game is? 3 words: speed, speed, speed. Delaware's just a faster team.
They're playing with great urgency.
Exactly. They're pinning Penn State in. And like I said, it's speed, speed, speed. And then when you don't have enough, you put more speed into it. So they're just all over it right now. You can see the Delaware end of the ice game. It's hardly marked up. The other side will have to cut 2 Berks.
I know. All of the actions lean to our right so far here tonight, Bob, as Delaware goes up 4-0. Ivan Sidoriak working in close. Played it behind the cage to Redgate. Redgate double team at the far half wall, and this puck is batted out of the Penn State Berks zone by Sonella.
The assist number 20, Ivan Sidoriak, and number 21, Mike Redgate. Time 12 minutes, 13 seconds. Goal number 2 The assist number 20, Sidoriak, and number 21, Redgate, at 12-13.
Goal at 12-13 to Ferris after having the apple on Mazzella's given to Itali at 5:27. Gets one of his own. Sidoriak and Redgate to help him on that at 12-13, making it a 4-0 game. Delaware just grinding away. There was a centering pass for Pierkowski to Penny that was intercepted. Icing waved off and it's cleared out with 6.5 minutes to go here in this first period. Battle for the puck developing along the far board from the Delaware zone. Up back in, taking an open ice catch from Harrison Schumo, Luke Quartz. Back on his feet, brought up from Peterborough High School. Delaware is offside on their entry back into the Lions zone, so this comes outside. State Berks pull on 6:03.
You know, it's 4-0. The Delaware's got to be real careful. One Penn State zone, so trying to get the ball. As soon as they pick up the puck in the zone, somebody's taking it off. And that's kind of how they got that breakaway. Again, because it really lax, and that can happen once or twice, and before you know it, we're in a 4-2 game.
Just like that, Penn State Berks nearly was able to enter the zone. An offside Ryan Spanier. Gave Delaware the free pass, and Zimmer works it up ahead. Left side, Nima. He gave it up to Bowles in the far corner. The Penn State Berks zone. Bowles plays it behind the cage. Nearly got it out. Keeping the zone airtight was Cascone at the right point. Tried to work it in close to Jake Nima. Nima's got it now, but his momentum carries into the left half wall. Trying to center it to Pierkowski. Unable to connect there. Spanier comes away with the puck. Trying to get a little bit of an advantage. Up ahead of the play was David McQuiston. Probably anticipated a little too soon. We near the 15-minute mark of the first period of a 4-0 game. Delaware over Penn State Berks thus far. In the home opener in Fred Rusk Arena. 2-on-2 rush for the Hens. Cascone chips it on past Alex Barone. Try to gain some ground up the right side. His momentum carried him behind the cage. Felice absorbs a pretty big check from Barone. Centering pass. Ostrander gets his second in the game. Sends that backward pass. He goes top shelf, all the room in the world, and it's 5-0 Delaware.
At some point, it's tough. Not even barely over 15 minutes into the game, down 5-0. But let's see how Penn State reacts. It's tough when you're on a big sheet of ice like this and you're a step behind. On a smaller sheet of ice, still Delaware on top of it, but cover this much ice, you're a little bit slower. Like me, you're a slow guy. I'm not going to end up sprinting quickly, so a lot of times games it gets to be frustrating. So keep an eye on things.
Penn State Berks.
15 minutes and 18 seconds of hockey. Trent Bogert has been removed from the game. Alex Goldwater will take his place between the pipes to our right after the first 15 minutes and 18 seconds.
I was waiting to see when coach was going to do that. I was waiting to see what they were going to do. If they were going to nobody wants to go there and shell.
No, absolutely not. You can't blame him, but at the same time, I thought Trent Bogert really did okay. He wasn't the one giving up the 8 chances. There have just been defensive breakdowns galore from this Penn State Berks side. They've been manhandled, quite frankly, by Delaware, who's just been swarming in. There's another net front meeting, and Ostrander at the center of that looking for the hat trick, but he can't punch it past. That button's coming up by goal line.
I thought he got it in that. Just moving up because Delaware wasn't just getting good chances, they were just getting amazing chances. You know, they were what Brian Thompson called Yay or something.
His second goal of the game, Brian Ostrander. The assist number 12, Carl Maverick, and number 6, Harrison Truma. Time of goal, 15 minutes, 17 seconds, 26. Ostrander is second of the game. From number 12, Carl Maverick, and number 6, Harrison Truma at 15-17.
So Ostrander's second goal, Chuma's second assist. And the onslaught from the Hens continues with 200 seconds to go in the first period. Here's Niski weaving through traffic, backhanded out from the slot by Bowles. Diving to try to protect his own center point was DeFerris. But here come the Lions with a 2-on-1. Yufei Hay working his way in close. His stick was lifted by the back-checking Ivan Sidoriak. So that opportunity failed to materialize. Niski on a breakaway the other way. Tried to get a little bit cute on the doorstep, but his backhander was foiled by a lunging Alex Goldbrunner. 2:49 to go in the first period. It was nearly 6-0 there.
Yeah, I think he just didn't get all the puck there. I know he wanted to let a lot of them standard for these big goals now.
He dropped the butterfly on impact.
Oh yeah. So, but now it's starting to reverse it. Listening to some of the brains of hockey and talking about the goalie standing and registering. And I kind of like that. It makes the goalie really hard to
We've gone from one-dimensional stand-up goalie to one-dimensional butterfly goalie. Now we're seeing that hybrid a lot more often, especially in the collegiate game. Just got so good. Net front pass fed to Redgate. He couldn't connect on the doorstep, gets his own rebound, tries to weave through traffic with jam on it from 12 feet away, docking, unable to set up Chuma at the right point. It bounces off the Delaware end, and we've got our first penalty of the game coming up. 2:07 to go. Interference. The call signaled by Sean Milligan. To be against Harrison Truma.
Truma had a good hit there.
So Truma will feel safe, maybe. Delaware today for the first time tonight. Having to pass holding down the back end up front for and Penny. Sotnella carries the puck out of the Penn State Berks zone. He accelerates up the left wing boards, ducks to get around a pair of Delaware defenders. Trying to work it to Kennedy, posting up net front, but that puck sailed right past him over the blue line, and Jacob Bowles is unable to work it back yet. Down to the last minute and a half. First period, Delaware with a 5-0 lead over Penn State Berks. And a giveaway to Jake Pima. Tries to split defenders on the way in. This is a 2-on-2 trailing in. Kenny couldn't put the puck away on the doorstep. Pass the other way and puts the Lions on the board. Power play goal gets Penn State Berks one back to the 5 with a minute 14 to go. Direct pass up the middle. I know you don't like to see this.
But no, I do. When the defense is getting, absent-minded like that, Delaware, the only weak spot Delaware's been so far, and I can see, has been them being a little too confident. This league, maybe, I don't know. But the problem is the defense weren't checking behind you, not putting that in the swivel. That was the second clean breakaway. If there's any chance that Penn State can stay in this hockey game, it's going to be plays like that, and it's simply to fix. turn around and put your head on the swivel and know what's behind you, and don't let him make that pass. You know, get on that guy a lot quicker. And Delaware's done it about 4 or 5 times today. They got lucky but this last time.
Monticello's too tall for the others, but right there, Casey Sottanella able to get that stretch pass. Watch it go over the blue line, chase it down, generate that breakaway. There was a chance for Jantoli just inside the right dot. So 1 assist goes to Ken Keene, who got that stretch pass going. This will be an icing against Delaware. Played in up the right wing boards, well behind center red. Lions with a half minute to go in the first period. We'll get one more chance.
They see the pattern. Every time you watch one of the Lions play, pick up the puck, the defense knows where's the eyes going, right up the ice. Looking for that stretch pass, see if they can spring it. Delaware's got respect. And I know it's a 5-1 game now, but
so what did we see last Friday? We saw Philadelphia with a very aggressive breakout. That proved to be Delaware's undoing, albeit just.
yes.
10 seconds to go here in the first period. Jandoli off his backhand in the near corner to Devin Jenny, absorbing a check for Bowles. Jenny perseveres, can't work for Travis Doriak. Steps up to the top of the right circle. He's blocked away by Alex Goldrunner, and that brings the first period. It's Delaware 5.
Shots and goals for the period.
On Delaware Hockey Night.
Penn State Berks at 4.
Welcome back into Delaware Hockey Night, streaming live on YouTube at Delaware Hockey Night TV. And also streaming at dehockeynight.com, Delaware Hockey Night Radio. Back with you for another year of hockey in the first state, and through 20 minutes of action, the Delaware Blue Hens men's Division I team has amassed a 5-1 lead over the Lions of Penn State Berks, James Witherite, and Bob Thomas. Joining you here this evening from Fred Rust Arena. And Bob, an absolute tour de force from Delaware to get the first period going, but then with 1 minute and 14 seconds to go, the Lions get one in. Casey Sautinella gets that big headman pass up the middle to beat Chris Ponticello on the power play.
James, what a way to start your regular season, right? With a 5 spot, now 4, but you know, really the only thing probably Coach had to say was, watch the guys behind you. Because that's all that Penn State, you know, right now, that's the only chance Penn State has. They have not been able to sustain any kind of offense. And
their only 2 A-level chances have been breakaways.
Yes, and they had a couple more that almost broke clear, but, you know, so Delaware just has to be more aware of that. But other than that, what a great start.
Absolutely, and we'll see if the third line can keep it going for Delaware here to start the second period. They're traveling from right to left in this middle frame. Docking in to take the draw. And off we go. It was won by Penn State's Eric Del Ellis, played back into his zone. It sails the other direction. And we've got ourselves a stoppage. Just 10 seconds into the second period as Ponticello covers up the puck. Face-off coming to his left. Del Ellis and Docking to take it. Del Ellis wins the draw. It's kicked back to Barone at the right point. Down to Ken Keene at the right wing, up high. John Granahan tries to loft one in, but off the waffle pad of Ponticello, it's directed away, and here come the Hens in a 3-on-2. Net front chance from Docking, denied, backhanded back toward him by Mike Redgate. Up the left side. Thrown in from just outside the left circle by Zimmer. Back it comes to Docking.
Great puck movement by the Blue Hens right now. Really good puck movement. They're just having, they're doing the same thing. They're picking up right where they left off, and that's been the whole thing. As we were saying earlier, James, it's speed, speed, and speed. That's helped Delaware get these great, scoring chances.
Somebody playing music when they shouldn't.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
All right, so we're out. That means I don't have detention tonight?
I hope I don't either.
Oh, good. That'll be a first.
Coaching staff looking up here like it's our fault, but I think it's too many chefs in the kitchen.
I am kind of hungry, though. I worked late, so I had to hustle to get here, so my dinner was an apple.
I don't think I've had dinner yet, and I've got another game after this one. For those of you on Delaware Hockey Night Radio, the Division III Blue Hens taking on UMBC after this. We'll pick up that game in progress likely at the beginning of the second period. Here come the Hens again in a 3-on-2. Up the right side was Mazzella, and he could not connect from there. We've got a puck out of play with exactly 2 minutes.
James, that whole
elapsed in the period.
Break, that whole outnumber break there just came from Mr. Miller from the Penn State team not being aware of where the guys coming at him when he took the shot from the point was easily blocked by the Delaware guys, and they just turned it. Instead, he should have taken a quick little wrist shot or snapshot to make sure he gets it. Main thing for the defenseman, doesn't matter how hard, just get it to the net. And on that one, he didn't look to see two guys coming at him.
Attacking zone draw for Delaware, but they're unable to keep the momentum going. This one a long clear, studied by Ponticello. Flipped ahead to Mazzella, worked ahead to Niski up the left side, but it bounced off his stick just shy of the Penn State Berks blue line, and back it comes across neutral ice into the hands of Sidoriak. DeFerris lofts it ahead. Pass intended for Niski was intercepted on its way through by Jacob Miller. Here comes Niski again. There's a 2-on-1. Up the right side, Niski had to retrace his steps, worked it toward Mazzella. Coming in behind him, he lost his shot lane, so he cycles it to DeFerris. Back to Mazzella it comes, deflected away from Sidoriak through the slot, but he chases it down at the left corner. There was a chance from Dom Guido, just 20 feet away, lofted in and up out of play by Chris Mazzella right on the doorstep. And with just about 3 minutes elapsed here in this second period, we have a stoppage.
James, one of the things Penn State, if they really want to stay in this game, that they have to do, they must be much more physical in front of their own net. Guys in Delaware are setting up. You can just about put the puck on a tee and drive it off the tee.
And there's another one.
No, I think you hit the post, James.
Almost in, but that's going to be ruled no goal. Like you said, we heard that one ring off the pipe. Heard a whistle.
I think everybody in the building was pretty much fooled. It looked like it went in, but it was off the post for sure.
I know I was fooled from this angle up here. Colin Emmerich keeping the momentum going for Delaware in the right corner. Leaves it to Harrison Chuma at the point. He lost the zone as he's hauled down by Satanella. Puck rolls loose to the near corner of the Penn State Berks zone, where Del Ellis backhands it to Granahan behind the cage. Now Barone winds up, and it's cleared ahead. Batted by Del Ellis to the Delaware blue line. Emmerich back the other way, sets up Felice. He skates headlong into a 1-on-3, dumps the puck into the near corner. He's able to chase it down there, but pressured by Granahan up to the point. Maintaining the zone was Ostrander. But out come the Lions after holding that blue line solid And Jack Zimmer, absorbing a check behind his own goal, will get the momentum going from right to left again for the Blue Hens. Zimmer up the left side. Saw the puck poke checked away from him by Yufei Hay. But the Hens persevere. Ostrander at the left point could not maintain. Hay wreaking havoc again. Sends it sailing 2/3 the length of the ice. Stretch pass from Patterson over the logo. And Jenny interrupted there. Nima takes the puck away from Dom Pantalone after he gained into Delaware territory up the far wall. Winding up at center, minus 10 feet. Hay clears. Icing waved off as winning the foot race to the Delaware goal line was Pantalone. But that's all for that opportunity. As back come the Hens on the offensive. Jenny chips the puck forward into the path of Nima, but he can't handle it. Spanier brings it the other direction. He shoots from outside the right dot. Ponticello covers up the puck with exactly 5 minutes elapsed here in the second period. And an attacking zone draw coming the way of the Penn State Berks Lions.
James, you got to give Penn State credit. They come out in this period, and the game is taking on a little different take at this point. I don't know if it's that Delaware has just kind of sat back a little, slowed down a little, but it's now speed, not speed.
They need to get that intensity back for sure if they're going to pad this 5-1 lead.
Sometimes it's hard, James, when you're up by that many goals to stay, really intense. But
I know it's hard for me to keep the urgency whenever the game is one-sided. I'd imagine inside the glass it's a similar sentiment.
But
Spanier mishandled the puck just shy of the blue line. It's taken away by Jandoli, 2-on-2. Worked it to Nima net front. He's unable to jam it in on the doorstep. This one is covered up by Goldbrunner.
There's no quit. I'll tell you, there's no quit in Penn State right now. They're still, working and grinding. Again, Delaware's just a little bit faster and more used to playing on this larger rink than what Penn State plays on, I'm sure, at their home, which is an NHL-sized rink.
So, of course, the benefit going the way of Delaware, I should say.
Oh, absolutely.
Being they're used to the larger sheet.
And if they're just a step better with speed, or skating ability, it really shows up on a rink this size.
No question. Docking in to take the draw across from Del Ellis. It is won by Penn State. Here comes Santinella up the left side into Delaware territory. Face some resistance in the far corner by Ivan Sidoriak. Puck trapped, recovered now in the right corner by Santinella. He's kept wide by DeFerris. Cross slot pass. Del Ellis slapper sails over the crossbar. Contested 4 in the near corner, and DeFerris is able to head up a 2-on-1. Now it's a 3-on-2. Drop pass to Redgate, thrown in close. Reaching out for the kick save was Bogert, and back come the Lions at a 3-on-2. Right side, Kenneth Keene, just outside the dot. Stick save by Ponticello. Flips play to the far boards, and the puck is steadied by Mike Redgate, just in front of the Penn State Berks bench. Played behind the cage to Zimmer, now to DeFerris, with lots of space to work with. On the side nearest us, Bob is now advancing into Penn State territory. Comes Redgate, drop pass. Hulser. Not a particularly exciting goal, but there are no style points in hockey, and it's now 6-1 Delaware.
They all count for 1.
They all count the same.
But it's funny, James, I was just getting ready to say before that goal, as a coach, you always wonder how you see one team, your same team, look so different in just one period to the next. It's not like we went 6 months into the season. It's just...
I mean, like you said, it's complete night and day.
Oh, yeah. Penn State's getting some chances. They've got, but... And again, is it because they picked their game up, or is it Delaware slowed down? But now here comes Delaware 2-on-1
and here's
now.
A 2-on-1. Centering pass. Guido mishandled it. In the slot, poke checked away. Guido looking for the puck near corner. Let's go to Bill. So that goal at 6:42 gives Hulser his first of the year. Headman up the left, Niski with a failed wraparound. Just now, nearly had the extra point, gets his own rebound, tries to circle behind the cage again. Couldn't backhand it in on the doorstep. Guido keeps it in, crossing to his bench. We'll get some fresh legs on for Delaware as we near the 8-minute mark of the second period. Niski from behind the cage, tried to flip it out into the path of Mazzella, but Schwartz intercepted that pass. Here's Emmerich dropping to his knees, chance from 20 feet away, turned aside by Goldbrunner, gave Mazzella a little bit of a shove net front as the co-captain for Delaware putting on a screen right in front of the Penn State Berks cage. And here come the Hens again, another 2-on-2. Felice off his backhand, flips it to Ostrander looking for his third of the game. Chased the loose puck down to the far corner, did he?
James, you know, one thing that can get lost with Delaware speed is how good they're passing. They are really looking for each other tonight. You're watching them do a lot of tic-tac-toes, and sometimes the passes miss, but that'll straighten out as the season goes on. But right now, I'm really impressed with the way this Delaware team, first line through the fourth, constantly look for each other.
Colin Emmerich winning the draw, kicked it back to DeFerris, checked off the puck by Spanier. Here's a 2-on-1 for Penn State Berks. Zach Talbot at the right dot. Tried to feed it to McQuiston, but his stick was lifted before he could get the pass off, and Emmerich's able to press play out of his zone. 2-on-1, Emmerich centering on the doorstep. Ostrander denied by Goldbrunner, and he covers up to bring us a stoppage.
Mr. Emmerich had a great shift there. Back check to help pull that puck off the stick, and then got up the ice, created the 2-on-1, made a great pass across, and a great save, but he deserved
great
to get it.
Great save by Goldbrunner. Absolutely answered the call there.
Definitely deserved to get an assist.
To keep this a 6-1 game. Felice taking the draw for Delaware at the far circle. Across from Del Ellis, top line back on for Penn State Berks. Ostrander to Felice near corner, back to Emmerich behind the cage. He's hassled by Miller, taken off the puck. Felice to Emmerich net front. He can't connect on the edge of the blue paint. Back it comes to Felice at the near half wall. Dumped in behind to the corner and taken away by Miller. Trying to protect the right point, and doing so okay was Sidoriak. Through the slot, loose puck. Goldbrunner out of position, and Sotnella hustles to chase the biscuit out of harm's way and move play from left to right. His momentum carried him to the corner, centering pass, couldn't get to Del Ellis. Some lumber in the slot, and play moves back out of the Delaware zone. Flipped by Pierkowski ahead to Felice. Back to Pierkowski, it comes center point. In toward Felice at the right dot, he mishandled it there. Mitchell Katz is able to take it away. Advanced to Keene off the carom shot around the near corner. This lofted out of harm's way as Keene absorbs a check from Jandoli. We're coming to the halfway point of the game. Delaware 6. Penn State Berks 1 here at Fred Rust Arena. And this play is ruled offside as Cam Pierkowski jumped into the atmosphere to bat down the puck, but it came back into neutral ice when he did so. So this face-off comes outside the Penn State Berks blue line.
Definitely can see why Mr. Keene has an A on his jersey for Penn State. Very smart player. If you're a winger, take note of what that young man just did on that play. He realized there was trouble down low, and he rotated right back and made a really great play in front of his own net to stop Delaware from getting a great scoring chance.
Pierkowski backdoor pass, Jandoli at the right dot, fans on the one-timer. Gave it up to Bowles. Back through neutral ice it goes. 2-on-1 for Penn State Berks. On the doorstep, Shane Bartle denied by the outstretched left leg of Chris Ponticello. Nearly was a second Penn State Berks goal right there, but strong goaltending keeps this one a 5-goal game. And now it's a 6-goal game as Harrison Chuma bats in the extra point, and Goldbrunner's taking exception. Jandoli just dropped Goldbrunner. And we've got a little bit of an old-fashioned Donnybrook here, Bob.
Well, James, remember when it was 5-0, I said, well, let's see how long it takes to get kind of, chippy, scrappy. Well, it took a little longer than I thought. So I think that goal at the end of the period kind of let everything, smooth out. But 2 goals here, and now it's look out.
So the goal goes to Chuma. He was the one with the putback on the doorstep at 10:42. And there's going to be more. What that more consists of, I guess we'll find out from Bill Williams here momentarily. But Goldbrunner taken out of position. Chuma, aware of the situation, took advantage on the doorstep, put the puck away for Delaware's 7th goal. Looks like it is indeed going to stand, but then Goldbrunner takes exception to something, and Greg Jandoli will come off, I would imagine, for roughing.
I think so, James. I'm surprised that Goldbrunner didn't get a penalty himself, too. He took a few good shots at the Delaware players, but
he really did, but then
maybe the refs feel a little bit sorry for him because they're getting, kind of shelled with some of these shots. So, and it almost looked like there was a little collision there in front of the net, which can frustrate a goalie, when you're taking a lot of shots. But hey, this is why I said Penn State needs to be a little tougher, a little bit more aggressive in front of their own net. You can't let guys get in on your goalie like that without putting some kind of contest to it. You've got to get up in the face, especially when it's 6-7-1. You're doing a lot of things now for team pride.
Absolutely, and this is when you see teams turn to physicality when they're down by 5-6 goals. And we're going to see a few fresh legs out for both sides. Delaware getting last change despite the PK, starting
James,
with Jandoli's roughing minor.
Games like this, James, is when the coach from the Lions will really see what some of his players are made of.
He certainly got some skill players, and Del Ellis taking this face off across from Guido. And we are off on Delaware's 2nd penalty kill of the night. Jandoli, we'll call it roughing. We'll get confirmation right now, in fact. So Delaware goes up another goal, but down a man for the next minute and 23. With 8:40 to go in the 2nd period, Jandoli off for the roughing minor. Del Ellis up the left boards, plays it to Jacob Bowles. Puck in the corner. Keene back to Hay at the half wall. Up high to Bowles, try to feed it to Sotnell at the right half wall, but Ostrander breaks up the pass, 2-on-1 the other direction. Guido's got space, can't jam it in. Getting a lucky break there was Goldbrunner, as that one took a bad bounce. Delayed penalty coming up. As Guido getting into it a little bit with one of the Lions after the play, and Guido's going to sit.
By the looks of it, James, coaches from Delaware aren't real happy about this because you're up 7-1. There's no need to take bad penalties. These are bad penalties. They're retaliation type of penalties. And these players, they're taught from the time they're little. The retaliation penalty always gets caught, and this is the case. Now they're down 2 men.
Absolutely.
It's discipline.
So for 48 seconds, we'll go to Bill. Cross check on Guido at 11:54. 5-on-3 continuing for Penn State Berks. Lots of space at the top of the right circle for Sotnella. Work to Alex Barone up high, back to Sotnella, cycling the puck along the right side into the corner, and Keene. Back to Sotnella it comes, stepping up to block down the angle is Jenny. Easy chip shot from Sotnella from the outside of the right circle makes this 7-2.
That's what you call threading the needle, James. He put it in such a little tight space that was a great shot. That really was. But again, you're 5-on-3, so you can't aggressively attack that. And it's 7-2 now. Now, I'm not saying that, the game, I think the game kind of has already been determined pretty much this way. But as a player from Delaware and the coaches, you want to see a tight game where everybody's working no matter what the score is.
And here come the Lions again. Cross slot pass to Schwartz from 30 feet away. Sailed wide of the cage. Barone keeps it in at the left point off the rebound. Sautinella couldn't maintain control of the puck. Felice winds up after stealing it and sends it sailing along those far boards back behind the Penn State Berks goal. Emmerich checked off the biscuit, and Alex Barone, with that long stretch pass, regains the Delaware blue line. Bartle flips it back to Schwartz at the left point. This taken away and cleared again by Felice. Out of the crease comes Goldbrunner to set up Bartle. 50 seconds to go on the Guido cross-checking minor. And a loose puck is corralled by Jack Zimmer of Delaware, who winds up from the far corner of his own zone and sends the puck cross ice to Bill. Keane and Barone get the assists on the Sautinella goal. That lazy chip shot from outside the right circle, but it had pinpoint accuracy to make this 7-2. Here's Jandoli along the right side of the goal line, tries to wrap it around, glove down by Purkowski net front. Blocking the shot was Zach Talbot, and it's covered up too by Alex Goldbrunner, bringing us a stoppage with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go in period number 2. And Delaware with, is there such a thing as a tenuous 7-2 lead?
It's more about, they have to play them again tomorrow, James.
Right.
They have to play them again. So you don't want to give them any kind of hope that, you want to just be methodical about this. Even though I know it's early in the season and emotions run high no matter what, but you want to stay disciplined. You want to stay out of the box, because the only two things that'll really get Penn State even a hope is penalties and that long bomb, stretch pass.
Which they connected on one already, and they connected on a 5-on-3 just now. And if you can minimize those, you're in pretty darn good shape. Del Ellis works it to Keane net front. And play whistle dead with 5:50 to go. Sidoriak's going to come off. We'll see what for. Roughing at 14:10.
James,
Cross-ice pass, Sautinella winds up at the top of the right circle, blockered away by Ponticello to the far wall. You were saying, Bob?
James, they had 3 penalties, correct, right in a row? And all 3 of them were non-hockey penalties. Rough, maybe?
Rough cross-check.
Sounds like a dog, rough. It's like a rough cross-check. I mean...
But they're not slashes, they're not trips, they're not
penalties to stop goals from going in. They're not penalties to,
They're frustration penalties.
And it shouldn't be Delaware that's frustrated. They're up 7-2.
They're up by 5.
Yeah, they're up 7-2. That's, you've got to be smarter.
5:13 to go. Docking lays a hit on Bowles. Here comes Keane up the right side after being fed the puck. Keane ducks to get around Hulser. Is angled off his intended shot lane by further pressure in the form of Michael Patterson. The far wall, Schwartz. Back to the point. Gives it away to Hulser. Here's Docking on a near breakaway. Hacked at, but he backhands it. And I don't think that one went in.
No, he made a great save. It looked like it, James, but it had eyes. It came up, came down, and rolled back out in front of him.
It sure did. Goldbrunner heads up on that one. Keeps this 7-2.
He's been solid, James,
since
he
came in.
He's given up 2 goals since he came in the first period. And again, both of those goals that got scored on him, it was guys wide open in front of the net. No contest by his defensive crew there. And when I say defensive crew, I mean all 5 guys in the zone.
The Hens gain an offensive zone face-off. Nima works it across ice from the near circle. Over to Chuma, back it comes to Nima. He fires it in from above the point. Karams to the far corner, where Yufei Hay turns the momentum the other way. But Nima perseveres, protects the corner. He's able to dodge a check from Barone, but Spanier levels him. And the puck is sent the other direction. Recovered by Zimmer behind his own goal for Delaware. 4 minutes to go in the second period. This is a 7-2 game. Advantage Blue Hens. Jenny in the near corner, double teamed there. Hens still short-handed for 5 more seconds on the Sidoriak roughing minor. Thrown in from long range by Jack Zimmer. Hens are back full strength. Sidoriak heads right back to the bench. Icing waved off. Pierkowski's able to chase down the puck behind the cage to Mazzella. He's denied from the top of the right circle by Goldbrunner. And the puck ends up back at the Delaware blue line after the Lions are able to clear. Down to the last 3.5 in the period. 7-2 the score, Delaware with the lead. Niski tried to set up Mazzella with a beautiful centering pass. It sailed right past him. The waiting center point is Jack Zimmer, and he buries a laser from 55 feet to make this one 8-2.
That's one that I think Goldbrunner would love to have back. You know, it was a long, wide shot, a wrist shot. It was a good shot. It's just his positioning was a little off. And I was going to say before that, James, you teach young defensemen to face the play. Not, let the goaltender make the saves. And so far, a lot of these plays that Delaware's getting clean breaks in front of the net. You see the Penn State defenseman turned around facing the puck, as opposed to pick up a man and let your partner take that other guy.
Hens back on the attack to Ferris. Tried to backhand it away. Puck covered up by Goldbrunner as bodies came crowding in, and we've got another stoppage. .252 to go here in this second period. Niski in for the attacking zone draw. Puck sent sailing up in the atmosphere to Bill we go. Niski and Mazzella with the helpers on the Zimmer goal from just inside the blue line. 2.5 minutes to go in the second period, and Delaware building on that lead. It's now 8-2 after giving up the breakaway and the 5-on-3 goal. Here comes DeFerris up the left side, 3-on-1 this rush. Reaching to maintain the puck was Niski. He could not do so. And Goldbrunner freezes another one with 2:09 remaining.
The good thing about having a 6-goal lead, James, is the defense can jump up into the play without any kind of apprehension. It's not like a 2-1 game and you're afraid of getting caught up. It gives them a chance to really get up there and create more offense and get a feel, get a chance to score, which the defensemen don't always get.
Pretty big goal in terms of the shift of momentum, especially after the Delaware stretch of penalties and that 5-on-3 goal to make this, 7-2. And now it's 8-2 off the bomb from Zimmer, and Delaware maintaining control and possession in the offensive zone. Felice was marked by Keene, able to clear the zone, turn right back in by Emmerich, recovered by Barone near corner, played behind the goal to Granahan, who shovels it out as far as the Delaware blue line, down to the last minute and a half here in the second period. And at the conclusion of this frame, we're going to stay with the action on the ice. I'm told there's a special presentation to follow the second period. Felice from 20 feet away. Off the pads of Goldbrunner, that puck ends up at the near corner. Felice tried to walk through traffic net front again, but he was stymied by Alex Barone. Puck cleared, no icing, a minute to go in the second period. Cascone winds up, connects with Nima. Cross ice pass, Jandoli scurries into the right point. Sends the puck sailing to the near corner. Sean Monahan and Doug Wood in the bands tonight. Wood had to duck to get out of the way. Jandoli from the bottom of the left circle. Couldn't get a good angle on the shot. Rebound handled by Chuma at the right point. Thrown in close. Puck caught and held onto by Alex Goldbrunner with 36 seconds to go in the second period. Momentum certainly back in the favor of Delaware as we near the closing seconds of this middle frame.
I think, James, what Delaware has to keep doing is just be smart. Be smart. Stay out of the box.
Jacob Miller gains control of the puck in his zone for Penn State. Berks clears it as far as the Delaware blue line, where it's turned the other way by Jack Zimmer. 2-on-1. Headman pass from Jenny. Ahead to Neema. He couldn't connect at a 45 right on the doorstep. Jandoli at the center of a scrum for the puck along the near boards. 10 feet inside the blue line, and it's brought out by Ryan Spaniard. 2-on-2 for the Lions. Last chance. Shot from 25 feet just above the right dot. Blockered away by Monticello, and that does it for the second period. Delaware with an 8-2 lead through 40 minutes over the Lions of Penn State. Berks, we're going to stay with the action here on the ice after the teams depart for the dressing rooms, as there is a special presentation taking place at center ice here before we break away for the second intermission. We'll take this opportunity to remind you, Delaware Division III fans, the game against UMBC will be brought to you via DHN Radio, joined in progress following the conclusion of this game. Delaware's Division I team and Penn State Berks meet again tomorrow at noon, and we'll have that for you here on DHN TV. Right now, we're going to send things rinkside. Here's assistant coach Danny Sharilla.
Harley, is that you? Got a shoot on net.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the chance $100 Harry's Hospitality Card. The shot. Oh, just wide. She said yes.
Congratulations to assistant coach Jason Bange on his engagement. What a happy moment to end the second period. Teams heading back to the dressing rooms now. At least the Delaware side is now. We'll take a break here on Delaware Hockey Night Radio and TV. Through two, it's Delaware 8, Penn State Berks 2. Welcome back into Delaware Hockey Night, streaming live at dehockeynight.com. James Witherite and Bob Thomas joining you here this evening from Fred Rust Arena, where through 2 periods of action, the Delaware Blue Hens have amassed an 8-2 lead over the Penn State Berks Lions, and my oh my, Bob, it's been an absolute team effort and just complete domination from Delaware so far tonight.
Again, speed, speed, speed. But in the locker room, I could have been a fly on the wall in both locker rooms. I got a feeling the Delaware coaches said, look, let's be smart, stay out of the penalty box, do what we've been doing to get us that 8-2 lead. On the other hand, the Penn State coach is probably saying, boys, let's just win this period. And that's a big morale booster because they got to go right back by 12 o'clock tomorrow against the same Delaware team. So they're more than likely saying, as a coach, this is what I was thinking as a coach, I would tell my boys, look, guys, let's just win this period. Go out there and win the period. It don't matter if it's 1-1 or 1-0 or 2-1, 3-2, whatever it is, win the period. That's a big step right there.
Especially going into, as you said, tomorrow's game, which is only 15 hours away from right now, and we're going to be here for it for those of you tuning in. The next Blue Hens game tomorrow versus the Penn State Berks Lions once again. And we'll go on air right at 12 noon. It was earlier scheduled as a 11:45 air time, but we'll get things going right at high noon for the second half of this weekend doubleheader. Third period's underway. Penn State Berks on the attack. Quick shot from the right side, and Ken Keene turned away by the paddle of Poticello. Race for a loose puck up the right side. Dom Guido angled off his path by the shoulder of Casey Sotinella. Sidoriak keeps it in at the right point. Tried to center it to Guido, could not do so. That pass intercepted by Eric Del Ellis, one of 2 goal scorers for Penn State Berks so far this evening. Keene up the left wing boards, centered it in the path of Sotinella. Taken away from him, kept in high by Granahan. Here's Mazzella the other way, setting up a 3-on-2. Cross ice pass, Niski with space to wrap around. Tried to feed to Mazzella, posting up net front. That shot blocked by Granahan. It sails back out to center red. Near side, Jake DeFerris waits for Mazzella to tag up, rather Niski to tag up. He re-enters. Niski, cross slot. Mazzella denied by Goldbrunner on the doorstep, but the follow-up chance was good. So says Sean Milligan with the outstretched arm. It was punched past on the rebound to make it 9-2 Hens.
Odd man rushes, James, and that's exactly how Delaware needed to start this third period. Discipline, get up ice, play hockey. Let the rest of the stuff be alone. You're up by a lot. And Penn State, again, they really, for tomorrow, they're going to have to work on net front protection, playing the body a lot better. There was a 2-on-1 and 4 for Penn State. Lunged in between the 2 guys, missed completely, and then turns on to a 2-on-0 for a second. A little bit better time.
Another odd man rush, and that's really been the tale of the game, as we've talked about before this evening. Let's go to Bill. So the assists to Mike Niski and Jake DeFerris, neither getting name credit from Bill Williams on the first goal of the third period, which makes it a 9-2 lead for the Blue Hens. Felice lost control of the puck behind the Penn State Berks goal. It was cleared out by Schwartz up the right wing boards, batted down by Zimmer at his own blue line, fed across to Chuma, and Kevin Felice absorbs a check from Spanier in trying to carry it on through neutral ice. Had no choice but to dump it in under duress, and Alex Barone hustles back behind his own goal. Played a little drop-in at the Patriot Ice Center with Alex Barone through the summer, and he's one of those old school characters in the room. Just an all-around great guy, and good to see him playing here in front of us at a little bit faster pace than we're used to on those Tuesdays at Patriot, Bob.
Yes.
I know how slow I am. Cross ice pass, docking, fans on the net front one-timer. Alex Goldbruner lunges to cover up the puck, and we've got a little bit of pushing and shoving after the fact right in front of the kitchen.
Barone, 57 for Penn State, did what they should have been doing in the first period. He showed aggression. He tried to clear that out, and it was a good play, but that needs to go on every right from the first drop of the puck.
He's a good little defenseman, Alex Barone is. And Penn State Berks wins the ensuing defensive zone draw, cleared off the glass by Granahan. Puck rolls deep into Delaware territory near side, chased down by Cascone, played behind the cage. And it will be carried up the middle now by Gavin Hulser, crossing to the left dots, cross-ice pass, right on the tape of Mike Redgate, centering pass, ducking, blockered away by Goldbruner, and into the netting over the right corner of the Fred Rust rink. 3 minutes and change in the books here in period 3. Delaware up 9-2.
James, if I'm Penn State's coach, do you know what we're having for breakfast tomorrow morning? Film study. Because some of the areas that they're getting beat on the ice, James, are in 5x5, 10x10 area in front of the net.
Right.
And that you don't have to be the fastest guy in the world. You just have to have great anticipation and be determined that the guy that you're covering is not going to beat you. There
have been too many chefs in the kitchen from the Penn State Berks perspective, and all of those chefs are wearing blue tonight.
Yep. And in that case, you have to look at it like I've always told players. You have to own your man. He's trying to I always tell him he's trying to embarrass you. He's trying to put the puck in and say, wave to your girlfriend and say, look, I just beat your boyfriend on that play. So you've got to be tough on those. You gotta, and the overall speed, even a guy that doesn't have the greatest top end speed can be really effective in front of the net with some anticipation and determination. A lot of shuns in there, right?
Absolutely, and a 2-on-1 for Delaware. Centering pass. A little fancy footwork from Devin Jenney net front, but a lunging Alex Goldbruner keeps the Hens in single digits. Puck cleared back out by the Lions. This is an icing with 16:09 to go in period number 3. Bob, I think Elvis has long left the building.
Well, again, this is a chance for Delaware to show that they can have discipline when they need it, and a chance for Penn State to say, look, we got to come out and like I said, win the period, but kind of clean up some of that stuff, like playing in the front of the net. You don't have to be the fastest guy in the world. Like I was just saying, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it always, it's a 5-on-5, guys. It's not a giant math problem there. You got a guy, he's got a guy, and that's it.
Nema manhandled behind the Penn State Berks goal, absorbed a check from Jake Miller. Puck ends up back over center. Racing through comes DeFerris, shot from 20 feet in point blank range. Kisses off the glass. Nema winds up to try to protect the zone as his momentum carried him toward the blue line, and that one ends up in the netting. 15.5 remaining in regulation.
Okay, so that one there, that was complete speed type of scoring chance. That really, he had the defenseman have to kick back on that, and it just blew through that whole situation. So great speed. It's really tough to combat a lot of speed on a surface this large, but you have to start somewhere, James, and that's in front of your own net.
Niski kicked it back after winning the draw to Zimmer, center point. His shot through traffic was deflected away. Mazzella into Niski, back to Mazzella. His stick lifted from point blank range by Dom Pantalone. Chuma protects the right point, dumps it into the near corner. It's taken away by Barone. He winds up to send it behind the net, out to the far half wall on Yufi He. Thanks to the Penn State Berks fan tuning in for help on a couple pronunciations. Things a little bit hectic on our way to the rink, so He and Goldbruner both accounted for now. Glad to have you along with us from wherever you may be. Goldbruner covers up another one at the 5:13 mark of the third period. Fresh legs coming on for both sides. The big guns for Delaware. Mazzella and Niski remain out. They're joined by Cam Pierkowski. But on comes Spanier through up the right side. This is a 2-on-2. Tommy Cascone hustles back to hold down the fort. So the Delaware back check much stronger here in the third period after letting a couple chances go mid-game. 14:20 to go in regulation, and Delaware is offside.
It's been a quiet third period, but you kind of feel it's going to be like that. A lot of times the chippiness goes in the second period, and when it gets to this point, a lot of guys are just like, all right, let's get to the next game. Whether it's Delaware or Penn State, I think they're just trying to play this out another 14 minutes and move to the next match.
Move on to tomorrow, play this one to the best of your ability, and turn the page for the high noon showdown here at Fred Rust Arena tomorrow. A reminder, tickets $6 available at the box office if indeed you're able to join us in person. Again, we'll be on air at 12 noon tomorrow for around about a 12:15 start. The second half of this season series coming up in awfully short order. Scrum for the puck in front of the Penn State Berks zone, controlled by Delaware. Felice at the top of the left circle, fed the puck by Nima, lost control. It's brought up the right side by Zach Talbot for Penn State Berks in line with the Dots. Lots of space to his right, and Felice is able to track down the puck in the far corner, but not before Spanier regains it for the Lions. Sidoriak sends Spanier sailing into the boards. There to recover the puck for the Blue Hens is Colin Emmerich. Head man up the middle to Felice, trying to split the wickets in the slot. His stick lifted from behind by Granahan. They converge in the near corner. The puck ends up there, and waiting for all of them together is David McQuiston. He was unable to clear it, though, as Ivan Sidoriak keeps the right point airtight for the Delaware side. We're just past the 7-minute mark of the third period. Delaware 9, Penn State Berks 2. A reminder to those of you tuning in on Delaware Hockey Night Radio, the Division III game between Delaware and UMBC will follow this. We'll join the action in progress. DeFerris, center point, flips it off his backhand to Sidoriak. Walked in net front. There was Docking denied on the welcome mat. Puck knocked loose to the far corner. Backhanded away by a lunging Shane Bartle and pressed out of the zone by Mike Shivo of the fourth line. The re-entry from Delaware will be called back offside with 12 2/5 minutes to go in the contest.
That was close.
Yeah, it was.
James is, at this point, like I said, you're seeing young players out there that are watching the broadcast tonight. Keep an eye on how many times you see swing checks go by. It's still, no matter what the score is, it's kind of hard to play up on the body when it's 9-2, but if you're Penn State, you got to. You don't want it to be 11-2. You want to, so the swing checks got to go.
As often as you're talking to the young players tuning in, we're going to have to get you some gaudy sport coats there, Bob.
Yeah, that's right.
Docking absorbs a check behind the cage, works it to Holzer. Centering pass, nobody home. Here comes Sautinella the other way, but in a 2-on-2. Drop pass top of the left circle to Del Ellis. That's poke checked away and corralled by DeFerris. 3-on-2 the other direction. DeFerris through traffic. Drop pass fanned on mid-slot by Gavin Holzer. That puck ends up in the far corner of the Penn State Berks zone, and it is cleared out effectively by Del Ellis, who comes off fresh legs on now for the Lions. And re-entering is Gavin Holzer, shot from just inside the right dot, turned aside by Alex Goldbrunner to the far wall. And recovered by the Hens at their own blue line, namely Jack Zimmer. It's chipped in by Redgate from just beyond center red near side. Perfectly executed dump and chase to get some fresh legs on. 11:14 remaining. Jandoli stood up at the Penn State Berks blue line by a trio of Lion defenders. But the zone gained as the puck was chased down. Nima through traffic, winds up, shot from 25 feet, a pretty hard wrister. Sailed wide of the left post, and Sautinella is able to gain control of it behind his goal. He's got space up the middle, 3-on-2 this attack for the Lions. Sautinella flipped it to his right, and Heb, it couldn't connect there. Heb backhander working through the slot, was blocked down. Battle for the puck, trailing back to the blue line. Devin Jenny got tied up with Sautinella, who's slow to get back to his feet. He lumbers to the bench, and Pantalone takes his place as Delaware regains attacking position, but loses the puck as Schwartz wrests it away from the command of Devin Jenny. We're nearing the midpoint of the third period. for the first game of our Friday night doubleheader here on DHN. Jenny walks it through the slot, top of the crease. His wrister was wide. It was interrupted by a close-to-home Alex Barone. Another chance, Jan Doley trailing back to the top of the left circle. That rings off the boards. Cascone handles the rebound, plays it behind the cage to the former Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knight, Jake Nema. Through the slot again. Bobbled by Cascone. He chases it down near corner, throws the puck into the low slot. Into the skates of Granahan, advanced by Spanier. That's a 2-on-2 for Penn State Berks. Spanier angled wide by the back-checking Mike Patterson. He perseveres, tries to maintain the puck. He gets hauled down by Patterson. Puck ends up loose in the slot. It's batted out of harm's way. Here's Guido on a breakaway. He walks it in. And no, senor, says Alex Goldbrunner, to keep it 9-2 with 9.5 minutes to go in the game.
Delaware's doing exactly what they need to do. Keep the puck moving, keep their feet moving, and stay out of the as we call it, the knucklehead stuff. You know, be smart, and they're playing a great period here.
They certainly are, a lot more disciplined, and that speed you talked about in the first period is no doubt coming back as Delaware wasted no time getting that 9th goal. And while no more have fallen since then, they've just been grinding away and maintaining offensive zone territorial advantage.
Just playing a real smart, tight game.
3-on-1. Niski net front. Goldbrunner with the save. Sidoriak couldn't chase down the rebound for the follow-up chance. And Jake Miller lofts the puck out of harm's way. But it's kept in by Chris Mazzella. Just inside the Penn State Berks blue line. Another cross-slot pass from DeFerris sails right past Mazzella. He chases the biscuit down to the near corner, held there by Jacob Bowles. To Sidoriak at the right point. Flip back to Mazzella, slapper up high. Hard off the boards, that rings. Out to the left half wall, swatted back in by DeFerris into the path of Niski. Mike Niski generates some space, but he's carried wide of the right circle. Through the slot, he sends the puck in the direction of DeFerris, but it's taken away by Miller, and this is an icing with 8 1/3 to go in regulation, and Delaware coasting a little bit with a 9-2 lead.
Michael Niski's got some wheels, doesn't he?
No question about that. He and Mazzella have been playing together for quite some time, and we were talking last Friday about chemistry and how that develops through the course of the season and how that actually was the advantage the junior Flyers had.
Yes.
Last week. Niski and Mazzella, they read each other like a married couple.
Yeah, you can see they've been together for a while because it's just they're looking. They don't even have to look a lot of times. They know where the other guy is.
I don't know if they fight like a married couple, though. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they fight like a good married couple in that they don't.
I don't know. I've seen some guys get beat up pretty good, so.
Another icing against the Delaware Blue Hens. 8 minutes to go. I'm fortunate in the non-fighting side of things. Home life's pretty darn good, and we've got another one coming on the way, Bob. We might have to press you into play-by-play duty by the time the season's over.
Oh, yeah.
Ostrander from the slot, denied by Goldbrunner. Chuma from long range. Couldn't get one through a congested slot. Puck is batted down by Hunter Lizzie. He can't clear. It's gloved down at the point by Chuma. He gets a little shove after the fact. Kevin Felice crossing to the left wing boards. Looking for space. Barone keeps him pinned to the corner. Centering pass, sails past everyone, and out of the zone, Jack Zimmer chases down the puck over the center blue and logo. 7 and change to go in the third period. Felice off his skate directs the puck in behind the Penn State Berks goal. No icing here. Battle for it in the near corner. Hulser hacked at by Granahan. Could not maintain the puck. Stretch pass through traffic to Sautanella the other way. Fed to the top of the right circle, and a man-handled Ken Keene could do nothing with it. Back comes Hulser, sweeping for the puck out from behind his feet. Jacob Bowles interrupts his progress. Bowles winds up, volleys the puck across neutral ice into the hands of Mike Patterson. And Patterson getting it back from a bothered Mike Redgate. carries it on now through the neutral zone, 6.5 minutes to go. But he lost sight of the puck, and it was lofted out by Jake Miller. Here's Sottinella again. Shot from mid-slot, deflected up into the netting. And with 6:17 to go by the clock at our right here at Fred Rust Arena,
So what
the
does
Hens
Penn
are up
State,
9-2.
what does Penn State have to do to be competitive tomorrow? And that's pretty much they're going to have to limit Delaware from the shots from the house, as we call it, from the net out to the dots, up to the top of the circles and across.
That pentagon,
Yes.
as it were,
Yes.
the 45-degree angles and in, where you can really get a good look at the net. Keep play outside the dots if you're Penn State Berks.
That means Penn State may have to drop 5 guys into the box at times, which means it's going to be a kind of a one-sided thing, but you're not going to give up these, 10 bell
It's
shots.
going to be like we've seen your team do last year, really drop back
Yes.
and collapse.
You have to sometimes. We had a very young team, so we had to make up the difference by dropping 4 to 5 guys in the box at times.
And I know that's something that we talked about in the Patriot Ice Center parking lot some nights until 1 in the morning.
Absolutely, and I can't get enough hockey. It's impossible, virtually
know.
impossible.
How did we make it through the summer, Bob?
Summer League.
You and me both.
Swayze Adam has 3 teams in the Summer League because it's 3-on-3, so we had to divide them up into 3 teams.
Because you have so many guys in both
Oh.
the varsity and JV programs, and I actually got a little taste of Summer League as an official. It was a lot
That's
of
right.
fun.
You did a great job, too.
We're getting there. The feet are coming.
Of course, the $50 that I gave you before the game helped too, right? No.
5 minutes to go in regulation.
It's a live mic. You didn't tell me that. No.
Jenny net front. Denied by Goldbrunner. And the crowd comes in after the fact.
I always
Alex
say,
Goldbrunner's done a heck of a job.
Oh, he has. He really has. I mean, he's given up 4 goals since he came in, but that's over, almost 2 periods and change. So he has. He's done a really good job.
It will be 40 minutes on the button in 7 seconds. Mazzella tried to walk it in close. Niski on the doorstep, too. Mazzella kept it for himself. Couldn't dipsy-doodle past Goldbrunner. Niski knocked off his feet, was able to feed the puck into Mazzella, waiting net front, but he was taken off his line. Barone pushed Niski out of shot range just the same, and the puck is cleared by the Lions with 4.5 minutes to go. After this, the Delaware Division III Blue Hens will be joined in progress against UMBC. We'll break away for about 10 minutes to regather ourselves, and that game will come to you via Delaware Hockey Night Radio. Here we're down to the last 4 minutes of this contest, where the Division I Delaware Blue Hens lead Penn State Berks 9-2. Division II's Blue Hens side taking on Penn State at Pagula Ice Arena tonight. That game will start at 9:45 p.m., so about 20 minutes before the Division II Blue Hens carry their 4-0 record into the den of the Ice Lions, who won the 2019 Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Hockey Conference Championship last season. Felice in a 2-on-1 on to Mazzella. Goldbrunner takes exception to Mazzella crashing the net. Gives him a little face wash. Behind the cage is Emmerich. Checked off the puck, flips it back to Felice before he lost his footing altogether. Fed right back to Emmerich net front. He retraces his steps, kept wide by Bogert, and it's taken away now by Bowles. So good job by the Penn State Berks defense, keeping play outside the dots with 3 minutes to go. Emmerich gets a shove from Bowles off the puck in the far corner. Here's Ostrander still looking for the Hattie. Wound up from 20 feet away, but his wrister was errant. Cascone handles the rebound, drops it back at the outside hash marks of the right circle for Emmerich, who shoots from point-blank range, covering up the puck, or trying to anyway, was Alex Goldbrunner. And that brings us another stoppage with 2:40 to go in the third period. Fresh legs on for both sides, and an attacking zone face-off for the Hens, who just keep plucking away.
it was real apparent on that one, James, when the face wash was applied, there was no retaliation. So obviously the coach got in her ear probably in between periods and said, stay out of the box. We need you for
good
tomorrow.
on Colin keeping his cool. And he's not the type to retaliate anyway. He's a
smart.
level-headed young man.
That's smart, really smart. You're up by 7 goals. You don't need to.
Emmerich and Barone getting tied up in front of the Penn State Berks bench. Penn State Berks coach adamant for a call. He's not going to get much help. We're down to the last 2:10. Play migrating back into Penn State Berks territory where Del Ellis was checked off his feet. Back the puck comes to center, rifled in by Granahan from over the Blue Hens logo and corralled by Cascone. He tries to stretch it out ahead to Redgate over the logo, tipped back deep into Penn State Berks territory, cleared out again. Del Ellis works it along the left side to Sautinella. Taken away from him by Docking, circling behind the goal. He tried to play the carom shot out of the zone along the far boards, but it was intercepted by Miller at the half wall. Drop back to Keene. Walked into the slot, taken away from him. Sautinella protects the right point. Throws it into a sea of blue sweaters, does he. And Ethan Docking will carry this one right up the middle, around to the left dot with 80 seconds to go in the contest. Another turnover. Miller reaches in, takes the biscuit away, and it's carried out up the far wall by Ken Keene into neutral ice before Ethan Docking is able to wrest command of the vulcanized rubber from him. Sent back to DeFerris, who posts up behind his own goal. We've entered the final minute of this game. This will be an icing against Delaware with 54 seconds to go in the contest. The next Blue Hens game tomorrow, Saturday, September 28th. Penn State Berks and the Blue Hens will meet for the second time this season. Airtime 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at DE Hockey Night for full broadcast details.
You know, James, if Penn State can hold this to a 1-0 period, it's almost as good as winning the period. Considering the first period, they gave up 5.
And then the second 3.
3, so.
And now 1 so far, and I think really the key to that's been, in large part, Alex Goldbrunner between the pipes and the likes of Alex Barone on defense, doing a great job keeping the Delaware Blue Hens outside the dots and minimizing those shot opportunities in the Royal Road.
You're right. When they've had to, they've kept them outside, and when they didn't, Goldbrunner did a great job.
Absolutely. Down to the final 10 seconds. Sidoriak set up to Ferris just there with a failed shot. Rebound handled by Jenny. Tried to set up Jandoli mid-slot. Sidoriak backhands it in to keep the zone. The horn sounds, and the Delaware Blue Hens kick off the season in victorious fashion, beating Penn State Berks by a tally of 9-2. Bob will do it again tomorrow at noon.
Sounds great, James.
For those of you tuning in to Delaware Hockey Night Radio, we'll break away momentarily. We'll return with Delaware UMBC, joined in progress from Gold Arena. For those of you breaking away from us right now, James Witherite and Bob Thomas both signing off. We'll see you again tomorrow, airtime high noon, for the rematch of the Blue Hens and the Lions. Good night from Delaware Hockey Night TV.